What just happened between Frédéric Arnault and Lisa Manaband from Blackpink has the entire internet holding its breath, and if you blink, you might miss the detail that changes everything. Imagine this. A single move, subtle yet unmistakable, and suddenly the worlds of luxury fashion, global music, and cultural influence collide in a way no one saw coming. This isn't rumor, this isn't fan fiction, this is today's surprising revelation, and it's shaking the industry from Paris to Seoul, from boardrooms to stadiums. The question is, was it calculated strategy, or did emotions slip through the cracks of one of the most carefully curated brands on earth? Stay tuned, because the deeper we go, the more the layers start to blur between personal truth and powerful storytelling. The scene was set after Lisa's short film Dream began dominating global feeds, a project that already had fans and critics dissecting every frame. And then came Frédéric Arnault, not with a press release or staged photo op, but with something that felt more personal, more daring. He made a move that suggested connection, proximity, and perhaps even an acknowledgement of something the world has been whispering about for months. But here's the catch: luxury storytelling doesn't work like tabloid gossip. Every gesture, every word is part of an architecture designed to blur the line between truth and narrative until you can't tell which is which. And yet, in this case, the move felt different. It didn't feel like staged theater, it felt like a revelation. That's why the internet can't stop talking. Now, before we dive further, let's step back and understand why this matters. In luxury branding and global entertainment, moments are currency. A simple handshake, a look across a room, a single sentence in an interview can ripple into millions of dollars in brand equity. For someone like Frédéric Arnault, who sits not only as a leader in the luxury empire but also as the son of the world's most powerful fashion mogul, the stakes are never casual. And for Lisa, a global icon whose influence bridges continents, every move is magnified tenfold. When their paths intersect, it doesn't just fuel fan theories. It recalibrates the balance of influence between East and West, between music and fashion, between art and commerce. That's why this revelation feels seismic. The move in question came quietly, almost too quietly. No headline shouted it, no paparazzi flash captured it in a scandalous frame. Instead, it was embedded in nuance, the kind of nuance luxury excels at. A remark about Lisa after Dream, delivered not with stiff corporate language, but with warmth that bordered on admiration. And in that warmth, fans detected something more, something that couldn't be dismissed as mere PR. Social media ignited instantly. Was this a signal of something deeper, or just another chess piece in the grand game of global branding? That's the genius here. The ambiguity itself drives the conversation forward. People don't scroll past ambiguity, they lean in. And lean in they did. Hashtags began trending across Twitter, TikTok edits circulated with captions like, "Did you see what he just said?" And fan forums lit up with analysis breaking down every syllable of Frédéric Arnault's words. If you've ever wondered how brand psychology works in real time, this is it. Curiosity is the magnet, and curiosity thrives on the unknown. The less clear the answer, the more time people spend watching, replaying, speculating. And in that speculation, both Lisa Blackpink and Frédéric Arnault become larger than life, their influence amplified not by what they confirm, but by what they leave unsaid. It's the art of storytelling elevated to strategy. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Luxury brands operate on scarcity and mystery. The less accessible something feels, the more people crave it. This isn't just about handbags or haute couture, it's about moments, emotions, and glimpses behind the curtain. When Frédéric Arnault's surprising move entered the narrative around Lisa's Dream, it created exactly that scarcity. Was this his way of stepping closer to her world? Was this acknowledgement a slip of personal sentiment, or was it intentional branding meant to fuse Louis Vuitton's identity with the unstoppable energy of K-pop's global queen? Either way, it worked because people are not just consuming the story, they're participating in it. And that's where the investment angle comes in. Pay attention closely. When a cultural moment trends globally, it's not just about likes and retweets. It's about leverage. Brands measure exposure not only in visibility but in conversion. A 20-second clip that trends on social media can be worth millions in advertising spend if it organically reaches an audience that traditional media could never buy. That's why Lisa's dream, paired with Frédéric Arnault's unexpected move, isn't just celebrity gossip, it's business strategy at the highest level. Fans think they're just debating connections, but behind the scenes, CFOs and brand strategists are already calculating how this ripple translates into the next quarter's balance sheets. But let's pause here, because this is where things get really juicy. Halfway through this story, we have to ask the question no one dares to say out loud. Was this revelation intentional, or was it an accident? If it was intentional, it's one of the smartest marketing plays in recent memory. If it was accidental, it might be one of the rarest glimpses of vulnerability from a dynasty built on perfection. Either way, the outcome is the same: the world is hooked. And once the world is hooked, momentum takes over. That's the cliffhanger moment. You can't look away, because the answer might drop in the next sentence, the next post, the next interview. But what if it doesn't? What if the mystery lingers? That's even more powerful. Lisa herself embodies this power. As much as fans want to dissect her every move, she has mastered the art of withholding just enough. She gives glimpses, she teases with performances like Dream, but she never oversaturates. That balance between visibility and mystery is why her influence hasn't just sustained, it has multiplied. And now, with Frédéric Arnault's surprising revelation adding fuel, her story isn't just her own anymore. It's intertwined with the narrative of an entire luxury empire. That intersection is where the magic happens, where fans feel like they're not just watching an idol or a CEO, but witnessing a cultural collision that could reshape the global stage. Humor me for a second. If you think this is just entertainment, think again. This is textbook behavioral economics playing out in real time. People don't just buy products, they buy stories, they buy emotion, they buy into the dream. Lisa represents aspiration in its most vivid form, and Frédéric represents the machinery of luxury that sells aspiration to the world. Together, even in the faintest intersection, they create a narrative too compelling to ignore. It's not just fans on Twitter, it's investors, fashion journalists, entrepreneurs, all tuning in to see how this plays out. 'Cause deep down, everyone understands that influence is the currency of the future. So what's next? Will Frédéric Arnault step further into the spotlight with Lisa Blackpink, making the bond less ambiguous, or will he retreat back into the safety of corporate statements? Will Lisa Manaban acknowledge this revelation directly, or will she let the mystery do the work for her? That's the tension keeping this story alive. And here's the thing about tension: it's more powerful than answers. As long as the question remains, the story keeps breathing, trending, and multiplying across feeds. That's why this isn't just about today, it's about tomorrow, next week, next month. The aftershocks of this revelation will echo for far longer than the initial move itself. By the time you've listened this far, you already know something important. This isn't just a fleeting viral moment, it's a masterclass in cultural influence. From Lisa's stage presence to Frédéric Arnault's carefully, or carelessly, placed revelation, what you're witnessing is how modern icons build empires without ever showing you the blueprint. Strategy wrapped in suspense, it's brand value disguised as drama, it's entertainment that doubles as education if you know how to read between the lines. And now you're part of it. You're not just a viewer, you're inside the echo chamber that makes these stories impossible to ignore. So here's the emotional truth. Whether this was intentional branding or an unguarded moment of sincerity, it doesn't matter. What matters is the way it made you feel. Curious, excited, maybe even a little shaken. That's the power of narrative when it's executed at the highest level. And that's why Lisa and Frédéric Arnault's story, whatever the truth may be, will continue to ripple long after today's headlines fade. Don't scroll away yet, because the next chapter could arrive when you least expect it. Subscribe, share this with someone who's just as curious as you, and replay the details you might have missed. Because this isn't the end of the story, it's only the beginning, and you'll want to be here when the next revelation drops.